What if I told you that if you started a fake podcast on YouTube, that you would get more views on your YouTube channel? Sounds crazy, right? It's exactly what I thought until I stumbled on a video from Nolan Molt, who actually, I like his stuff. He's a good content creator. And he put out a video that said you should start a fake podcast. Got my interest. So I watched the video. And you know what? He's right. You should start a fake podcast. Why? Because it's going to help you get more views. And so you probably want to know, what exactly does that mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up to Nolan's video in the description. I want to give him full credit, but I actually thought of something similar, not really calling it a fake podcast, but allowing you to be able to create more videos, especially if you're afraid to get on camera, or if you're wanting everything to be perfect, or you're not feeling as natural on camera, all of that stuff. And you know what? If you struggle with perfectionism or you just want everything to be perfect, let me know in the comments if that's something that you struggle with. I mean, I know I have. Having a fake podcast is actually a really, really good idea. So let me share with you what we're going to talk about here. All right, I got my little handy dandy little whiteboard, of course, and I call it the hack record more little method. All right. And this is what we're talking about. So the fake podcast, let me just first go into that. Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 things here that we're going to talk about and that you can implement so you can get more views. All right. Because you're going to want to post more videos. We all know if you post more videos, you're probably going to have more chances to get more views, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree? So that's what we got to do. So if you could record more videos, then your chances increase. So that's what we want to do. All right. So the fake podcast thing is not that you're going to actually put up a podcast and fake it. What you're going to do is you are going to pretend that that thing right there, the camera, is not on. Think about this for a second. If you could just talk and not worry about how you look on camera or how your expressions are, or if you gotta feel like, oh, I've got to seem a certain way. And if all you had to do was just get on the mic and just start talking and sharing, you'd probably feel a lot of that pressure come off, right? So the whole idea and the concept is, let's pretend that's not on, and then let's just go ahead and pretend that we're just doing an audio podcast. All right. So that's kind of how we're faking it. All right. And yes, you're going to publish these videos, but what you're going to find is it's going to probably be you being more natural, having less pressure about how you look and feel and how you maybe do certain expressions like me. Like sometimes I do things that are a little quirky, a little weird, that I look back and I go, that was kind of weird, Scott. Why did you do that? But if you just heard my audio, my voice, you wouldn't have picked up on it. But here's the deal. Some of those little quirky things, some of the things that make you are actually what people are going to be attracted to. So I encourage you to kind of just get into that part, right? Just settle into it. But to take the pressure off, let's just pretend that it's just an audio podcast. All right. And then if you don't want to publish these videos, you don't have to, but it will definitely give you more practice. All right. So let's do that. All right. That's step number 1. Let's just pretend like we're going to do audio only. Now from there, you're like, okay, Scott, but I still struggle with some of those other areas, and we're going to talk about those. So like one of them is the very first thing that I want you to do for this fake podcast is I want you to plan. All right. Now I've been podcasting for over probably 12 years now. And what I always have done is I just plan a little bit, right? And I say plan, it's like I get my title, what I'm going to be talking about, and then I get like 3 to 5 bullet points. Like that's it. So I wrote here, plan, get your title, get your bullets, 3 to 5. That's it. And if you're speaking about something that you are familiar with, or you're learning about, or that you've got experience in, like whatever, you're gonna know about that. Like if you're an auto mechanic and I asked you about tuning up a carburetor, you're gonna be able to tell me. I'm gonna say, hey, what are the 3 things that I gotta know? You're like, well, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. And you're gonna tell me why I have to do all those things. It comes natural to you because you talk about it. But if you're on camera, it's like, all right, ready, set, record. And you're like, All right, so first thing that you got to do is you got to get your what is it again? It's a Phillips head screwdriver. You got to get your Phillips head screw, right? And you get all like the camera's on, the red blinking light's on, right? That's another thing too. If you do have a red blinking light, maybe turn that off, or maybe just put a piece of black tape over it. All right, because that sometimes can get you freaked out. Okay, I've been freaked out by that. I'm not like sitting here saying I've been perfect on camera for the by the time I started. No, it's been not that great in the beginning, but I got through it because I got more reps. All right. Podcasting did help me because I just got more comfortable speaking. I still don't speak perfectly. You probably already picked up on that. But what we want here, 3 to 5, okay? 3 to 5 bullet points. And that's going to help us when we're doing this little fake podcast. All right. Now, the third, and this is a big one, just speak to one person. Just speak to the person that you are sharing this with. Again, if someone walked into your, let's say that you're running a nursery, a garden nursery, and someone came in and they asked you about a certain type of plant, you would not have a problem answering that question and giving them a whole bunch of information about that plant and how to grow it and what they need, fertilizer. Go to this aisle here. Let's get a bag of this. Let's get a fertilizer here. This is what we need. Like if you just talk to that one person as if they asked you the question. A lot of times it's like present a question in the title, which by the way, I should go back here. People get hung up here too on the title stuff. They get hung up. We got to have that first, right? We got to have the title. We got to have the bullets. All right. But the title comes first. If we have the title, we can figure out the bullets. The title's the first thing. That's all we focus on in the very beginning is the title. And we got to have a good title that we know is getting discovered out there, right? That other people are wanting to watch. We actually, to help you out on this, I've got 10 titles that have worked really well for us that we still use to this day. We just rearrange them a little bit and we created templates out of them. If you want a copy of that, just put hooks in the comments, all right? Because it starts there, all right? Because if we go through this whole process and we're like, okay, let's pretend like we're doing a fake podcast, okay? We're going to do audio only. Now we got to get the title. Start with the title. We fill in the blanks with the 3 to 5 bullet points, okay? Title. We got to have that. If you want a copy of that swipe file, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy. All right. Hooks. All right. So speaking to one person, that has helped me so much. Like right now, I know there might be 500 people that watch this. There might be 5,000 people that watch. There might be 50,000. I mean, we've got a video right now on this channel, which this isn't my first ever channel, but this channel here, we've got a video that's over 126,000 views. Right? If I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to be seen by 126,000 people, I'd probably freak out. But when I shot the video, just like I'm doing right now for you, I'm speaking to you. And I'm saying, if you have a problem of doing more videos because you're, thinking everything's got to be perfect, you got to have a whole bunch of edits. You don't. And actually that video I'm talking about, the 126,000 views, that's still getting views every single day. Guess what? I shot that on an iPhone and I shot it in my Jeep. All I did was I did have my whiteboard because this here helps me stay on track, but you could literally have a Post-it note right there on your monitor and just read off of that and tell people, say, hey, if I'm looking down, this is what I'm doing. So just take the pressure off by you just speaking to one person. And that one person just happens to be a friend of yours. And they're not going to judge you. They're not going to think that you speak weird or that you look a certain way. They're not going to care about any of that stuff, the stuff that's holding you back. Okay. So again, I want to give a little shout out to Nolan. Nolan, if you watch this, thank you so much. Appreciate all your content and really just kind of shedding light on this, because I think a lot of people struggle with this. I'll definitely link everything up in the description here. So if you want to check that video out, you're more than welcome to. But it does start with the title. All right. So we got to get the title. After we say, okay, let's do this. Let's pretend like we're going to do a fake podcast so we can create more videos. We need the titles. And like I said, I've got that for you if you want a copy of that. But also what I did here, I did something else. I shot a video right here where I go over those 10 and I give you even more examples on how to use them in multiple niches. Watch that video next and I'll see you there.